People are like done. They're like, nope, no more scrolling. I need to see what's real in person for me, right? I don't trust anything. I need to see it with my own eyes. So that's part of what's happening right now. Digital fatigue. It's ironic that we're more connected than ever. Like you can tell what your friends from high school are doing, yet you've never felt more alone than ever. And that's not like an assumption. That's literally what the surveys are saying. 30% of young adults reported feeling lonely every freaking day. We're seeing this perfect storm happening because here's what people actually want instead of all the digital bullshit.
Welcome, everybody, to the Chris Harder Show, where we are making you unapologetic about your pursuit of success, knowing that when good people like you make good money, they can then do great things. My name is Chris Harder, and several times per week, I will bring you epic guests, solo episodes, and every single tool, trick, and skill set you need to grow your business, grow your money mindset, and to grow your wealth to levels that you have never reached before. I've ended up in a unique place in life where I've got the experience, the connections, and all of the secrets that it takes to be successful. And I'm lifting the curtain to reveal it all to you in an effort to help put you in a position of abundance so great that you can then be as generous as possible. So let's lock arms and let's get started.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Chris Harder Show, where today I am grateful for how great our elite entrepreneur mastermind went. So last week, we ran that thing for 4 days, and we have such a good group this year. And it's actually one of the things I wanted to share with you for this episode. We just wrapped up our summer session for the Elite Entrepreneur Mastermind, and I did a full presentation for them on what I want to share parts of with you. And that is the presentation around the human connection economy. But more importantly, the point of the presentation was to challenge them each to skate where the puck is going. So in other words, how can they capitalize on this freaking tsunami that's occurring in the human experience, or as I like to call it, the human connection economy? Because honestly, I've got two great reasons why you can't opt out of this one. Number one, you don't want to miss the absolute influx of cash flow that is in this rising tide right now. Like, it'd just be dumb to miss it. Number two, you can't afford to stay in this dried up lake if you're staying digital only, if you're in the coaching world or the course world, or really even the product world. I saw a stat, maybe I'll share it with you during this episode, around the percentage of people choosing experience over products. It's wild. So number two is you can't afford to stay in the dried up lake when there is a rising tide and a tsunami happening. So number one, you don't want to miss out on it. Number two, you can't afford to stay where you are because the masses are telling you what they don't want anymore, but the masses are also sharing with you the answers to the test, and they're telling you what they do want. And that is in-person connection. And that is, okay, really, I'll tell you what the whole premise is. They want in-person connection for this reason. Ready? The whole premise for why this human connection economy is like popping off is simple. We are lonely. We are lonely. And especially entrepreneurs, we're twice as lonely. We're lonely as humans. We're lonely as people. And the human connection economy fills that hole in us that we're tired of feeling. That's why it's booming. Weirdly enough, social media and the digital world that we all live in, and coaching people from afar and doing courses and stay in your home with all the conveniences and Netflix and everything else has made us lonely to the point where we can't take it anymore. And so the pendulum is swinging all the way the other way, where people are like, you know what? I'm going to do something about this. And you can't miss out on being a part of that solution. And the numbers don't lie, guys. So a recent survey showed this. 74% of people valued experiences over products. Let me rephrase this in a little different way. 74% of people surveyed said they would rather pay for experiences than pay for products. That means they're voting with their dollars right now. If they have an extra couple $100 disposable, they're going to spend it on going out to dinner or going to a concert or going to some kind of event instead of spending it on a pair of, clothes or something like that. 74%. You can't argue with that. Here's another one for you. The average household budget now allocates 65% more towards experiences than they did pre-pandemic. So let's consider 2020 kind of that Mason-Dixon line. Up to 2020, people were like, things, and I'm cool staying home. Then we got real lonely and our psyches got shocked. The whole stay-at-home orders and all the bullshit and everything else, right? So what happened was when they finally let us out of jail, quote unquote, everybody said, screw that, I'm traveling. Screw that, I'm going to concerts. Screw that, I'm going to ball games. Screw that, I'm hanging out with my friends. Because we realized how terrible it felt to be locked down at home. And that knee-jerk reaction hasn't gone away, as shown by the 65% of people's budgets that are spent now on experiences compared to what they were spending it on pre-pandemic. And in this same survey, 30% of young adults said they feel lonely every day. Listen to those two parts of the sentence here. 30%, so 1 out of 3, young adults said they feel lonely every day. Not once in a while, not once a week, not once a month. They feel lonely every day. They answered, yep. They got the survey, they checked the box. You feel lonely every freaking day? Yep, every day. 3 out of 10 said I feel lonely every day. That is why this human connection economy is absolutely popping off right now. So how do we define the human connection economy so that you can participate in it? Well, it's any business that creates value for people through highly in-person experiential interactions. Let me repeat that. Any business that creates value for people through highly in-person experiential interactions. So it could be retreats, that could be activations, that could be dinners, that could be travel, it could be anything. But what we're witnessing is this: a fundamental shift in how people create value and find meaning. Meaning, concerts are selling out faster than ever instead of people staying at home. Travel experiences are commanding premium prices. Let me share an example with you. My buddy Rob puts on trips for people that want to go to Italy and experience Italy in an incredible, epic way. And he's had this business for about 6, 7, 8 years, and it's always done very well. Except lately, they can't even keep up with the demand. They launched a trip to Puglia, Italy, and it sold out in a matter of hours. Now, you need some context around this. This is 20 people at $15,000 a pop. Sold out in hours. So what they do? They said, whoa, we didn't expect that. We've never seen that before. And they just threw another set of dates out there. Same trip, second set of dates. That sold out in an hour. An hour. Because the second set of people saw how quickly the first one sold out. So now they had 2 trips sold out. Remember, 20 people, 15 grand a pop, times 2 trips. So they go on the trip, and there's so much demand. There's so many inboxes that they said, let's just try this once. Let's throw another date out there and see how quick it sells out. And that third trip sold out in a day, in less than a day. These aren't small ticket items. These are people saying, take my 15 grand and I'm going to get my ass on an airplane and go overseas. And it's sold out, sold out, sold out. And that's never happened before. Entrepreneur dinners, networking events, like you name it, they're multiplying. We're seeing them everywhere. There are so many companies making money hand over fist just putting on dinners. So there's one company out here that puts on dinners for individuals that want to make friends by going to dinner with 6 other people. And it's like roulette. You're like, I wonder who the other 5 people are going to be. And you walk away with 1 or 2 of them having chemistry and having new friends. There's another one called Time Left, I think it's called. They made $20 million last year. $20 million doing networking dinners, 6 people at a time across 200 different cities for entrepreneurs. Let that sink in. And every single Wednesday night. It's that simple. That's how simple their business model is, guys. Time Left made $20 million on strangers meeting in small groups for dinner on Wednesday nights. That is freaking it. It's wild. So I kind of already talked about why this is happening right now, right? The perfect storm. There's AI saturation, meaning people are tired of not knowing what's real or fake anymore. I don't know about you, but I go on Instagram or TikTok and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. I'm like, oh, it's fake. I hate AI. And I'm like, oh, look how beautiful the scenery is. Oh, it's fake. I hate AI. Oh, that's so funny. Look what the dog did. Oh, it's fake. I hate AI. So people are like done. They're like, nope, no more scrolling. I need to see what's real in person for me, right? I don't trust anything. I need to see it with my own eyes. So that's part of what's happening right now. Digital fatigue. It's ironic that we're more connected than ever. Like you can tell what your friends from high school are doing, yet you've never felt more alone than ever. And that's not like an assumption. That's literally what the surveys are saying. And there's the loneliness epidemic. I already told you, 30% of young adults reported feeling lonely every freaking day. So we're seeing this perfect storm happening because here's what people actually want instead of all the digital bullshit.
Okay, hey, real quick, I'm going to interrupt, but it's for a really good reason. Let me ask you this. How are you really feeling right now about your social media content game? And this is an important question. If I had to ask myself, I'm asking because my social media game sucked the past couple of years. I mean, it was terrible. Every time I tried to hire it out, it didn't work. Their content was totally not me. And then when I would take it back over myself, it just never got done. That was until I finally found a team that stopped confusing social media content, just putting stuff up, with actual real social media strategy. The reality is this: social media matters if you're building your business, and you can't ignore it even if you want to. Trust me, I tried. Consumers are spending over $1 trillion with a T through social media every single year, not scrolling, buying and hiring people, choosing who they trust by voting with their dollar. And it's not going to you, it's going to somebody else like me instead. That's why I want to introduce you to my personal CMO, Melissa Duglecki, and her team at the Brand Lab. I swear by her and her team. Melissa is somebody that both Lori and I have trusted with our marketing for a long time now. She's worked on our launches and our social media strategy, our copywriting, landing pages, my brand, and like much more. And in my world, I don't trust effort or intention. I'm sorry, effort and intention are not good enough. I only trust results. And we're finally getting them with Melissa and her team. Like, it feels so freaking good to see my social media go up on a consistent basis and actually like what they're putting up. So here is the deal. I've got a gift for you, but only for a few of you. I've asked Melissa to offer some of my listeners a limited number of spots to get a fully customized social media strategy, just like I got, covering your messaging, your positioning, bio, and content strategy. Now, when you use code Chris at chrisharder.me/social, that's chrisharder.me/social, you get $1,000 off as a thank you from me to you for listening. So go to chrisharder.me, that's .me/social, use code Chris and get $1,000 off as a thank you. If your social media results suck right now, like mine did, or if it feels overwhelming, trust me, just try this. The missing piece isn't more effort. That's what I was doing. It didn't work. It was the right strategy and the right team. Go to chrisharder.me/social, get $1,000 off your custom social media strategy as a thank you from me to you.
They want to network with people who can help their business grow. That's the shortcut. Networking and collaborating has always been the shortcut, and people are finally waking up to it. They want to find the people who have the answers that they're looking for. Like when you were a kid and you had a test. Didn't you always want to find the answers to the test? Well, that's what this is. It's finding the people who have the answers to what they're looking for. They want to feel supported instead of isolated. There are people married with kids, and they go to jobs every day, and they still don't feel supported, and they still don't feel seen. They want to feel supported and seen instead of isolated. People want to find a tribe of like-minded people, and people want to belong to something bigger than themselves, even if it's temporary. That's the most important driver right there. They want to have a shared experience. You've probably heard me say on the show before, nothing has any value until shared. Well, you can go on a road trip by yourself, and it's good. But it has exponential value once you get home and you show the pictures to your friends and family, or if you're experiencing with someone, you're like, oh my God, look over there, look at the elk, like, yay. It's way better when it's a shared experience, and that's what people are realizing. And so the question becomes, how can you, right now, you the person listening, how can you in your business, how can you in your genre, how can you in your expertise participate in this? So here's kind of some fun ideas that came out of our mastermind exercise. Remember, I did this big presentation to them, and then I made them break off in groups, and I said, if you had to participate in human connection economy starting tomorrow, what would you build for your business, for your genre? Well, there's a woman there that makes incredible jewelry, beautiful jewelry. And she said, I would start sponsoring people's events by showing up and putting on an interactive build session where people can build their own signature pieces using her jewelry. This is not just like stacking jewelry. This is literally taking a few of her pieces, and she's showing them over the course of 15 or 30 minutes. kind of like a group activity, how they can build their pendant, how they can build their necklace and choose the colors and choose the different things and build a custom piece. Now that's successful. That's very interactive. We saw this as a massive success example years ago. There was a company called My Intent. I wonder if they're still around or not. And all they did was go around to all the different events, and they created an interactive experience where people would type out a word that means something to them on a washer, and they'd put the washer on a string and they'd turn it into a bracelet. But because it was a word that meant to you, and because everyone was doing it together and stamping out their words, it felt experiential, and they were everywhere. You couldn't go to an event without seeing My Intent there. Well, she's going to do that same thing. And it's going to be incredible brand building and awareness for her. Those jewelry pieces are going to mean something to people, and then they're going to go to her site and they're going to buy more because they're going to have a emotional connection to them. There's a couple that owns a chain of chiropractic clinics in there. They're awesome. And they're going to start fun wellness days for the community. Now, not these bullshit like, oh, let's just come and have a little yoga day, or let's come and you're going to listen to us preach to you about wellness. No, like a fun, interactive, like group workout and group stretching and, come get chiropractic and like really valuable. Let's turn on and do something for the community type of wellness days. And of course, that's going to be amazing brand awareness and allow people to get out of their homes and participate in the human experience economy, but then know about their business and become clients. There's a salon owner. She's so dope. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to start doing free sip and style nights. That's it. I'm going to open up my salon after we're typically closed. I'm going to provide the clothes. I'm going to provide things for style. We're going to do up their hair. We're going to have wine. It's going to be super fun. And it's a great way for the ladies to go and hang out. But what does it really do? It puts new people in the salon. They say, wait, this place is awesome. And I love how you styled me. Okay, I think I want to start getting my hair done here. There is a woman in the mastermind who trains speakers on how to speak. Like she's a spectacular speaker, speaks on the circuit, makes tons of money doing it. And she trains other speakers how to speak as well. Well, she's starting a speakers retreat. We're talking like beautiful locations with like-minded speakers that are already kind of in the business that want to start exchanging tips on speaking and stage connections and collaborating. Like, hey, I can't speak on this date, but I could recommend you, that kind of thing, all while under the sun instead of doing it in a stuffy conference room. This is not like you're come to this conference room and learn how to speak. No, this is like, all right, we're going on vacation together for a few days. We're going to talk about best practices and tips and share connections. We're going to create a bond. That is the human connection economy in its finest right there. You're still accomplishing the teaching, but you're now doing it in a way that people are turned on and activated by. Or me. Guys, look what I'm doing with my new found trips. I'm taking people out of the classroom when it comes to masterminding and bonding them over highly curated but slow paced with lots of beautiful space, gorgeous trips so that I can prompt and hold space for the right conversations to form. You have to understand, one unexpected but perfectly timed conversation will change the trajectory of your life forever. And I actually saw it happen last night. So I went out to dinner with 4 other guys. There's 5 of us. Matter of fact, we played pickleball for a few hours and then showered off and went out to dinner. And these 5 guys, or I should say 4 plus myself, a couple kind of knew each other, but mostly they were all new to each other. So I got them together and we played pickleball. Then we had dinner. And one of the guys opened up about something that was holding him back. And that turned into a conversation among us all where we were talking to him about what was holding him back. And that one unexpected but perfectly timed conversation made him leave dinner with such new insight and new energy that he is literally a different man, turning a new page, turning a different leaf, so excited, feels like he got a breakthrough, feels like he has direction. Now, he didn't go there expecting that. But that's the beauty of travel together or dining together or spending time together. Matter of fact, I bet it would not have happened if we just went to dinner. Hey guys, meet me here at 7:00. 5 guys having a chat. That wouldn't have been enough of a warm up. That's why you need a true experience. The experience was first we played pickleball and sweat together for a few hours, then went to dinner. So we're already bonded and some of the walls were already let down and there's familiarity. See the difference? When you have a human shared experience together, then you open up a little bit more. The timing becomes right to say, hey, here's something that's bothering me. And then someone says something and it changes the trajectory of your life. So I challenge you, just like I did our whole Elite Entrepreneur Mastermind this week. What will you add or what will you pivot to in your product suite in order to skate where the puck is going and play in this rising tide instead of the dried out lake where you're still trying to find business, except there's nobody there anymore? Seriously, DM me, share it with me. I'd love to hear your ideas. And by the way, if you want to go on the Found trip coming up at the very end of September, we're going to, it's beautiful. We're going from Newport Beach to Beverly Hills to Santa Barbara. We're going to visit a cool founder. We're going to have once in a lifetime luxury experiences. There's an entire day of just fun and play. We're talking bonfire hangouts. My God, I've curated the best Southern California trip ever. There's only a couple spots left. If you guys want to go, if you're an entrepreneur or an executive, reach out to me in the DMs. Or if you got my number, shoot me a text. Either one. The next two of you that reach out, you're going to fill the trip. You're going to be gone. But don't worry. This one goes well, I'll probably do another one for you guys. All right, can't wait to see who joins us on this trip. Reach out to me if you want to go on the Found trip at the end of September. Snake your way up the coast of Southern California with other really high-performing, awesome executives and founders. Thanks for listening, guys. DM me. Let me know how you're going to participate in the human connection economy. Thanks for listening. And if you loved this episode and know of someone else who is as successful as they are generous, please pass them on to me. It would mean the world to me if you help me get this cause and this message out to as many listeners as I can. So please, if you liked what you heard, it goes a long way if you take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review and share this with your friends. I'll be forever grateful. And until the next episode, cheers to your success.